What's up, guys? It is JZNES back again with an unboxing video. What? Oh my god, we have a package. What could be in here? Oh my god, it's Legends Arceus. Arceus? It's Arceus, by the way. I don't care what anybody says. Fucking some bullshit that now it's Arceus because the Pokemon company says so. But Legends Arceus there. It showed up today, funnily enough. See, there was a reason I was waiting to make this video. This isn't about Legends Arceus, but I am looking forward to that. And this has got me very Pokemon-centric lately, as well as Pokemon Go, of course. But me and Mayab, or Mayab and I, if you want to be grammatically correct, played through a game. One of the best Pokemon games. Now, everyone's saying that this is like one of the best Pokemon games. I don't know yet. Obviously, we just unboxed it, so I have no clue. But one of the actual best Pokemon games, and I'm sure you can see here. Also, look at this. Look at the guide. You remember how I had the problem last time with the green? Like, now it looks like it's like holographic or something. Isn't that cool? The shit. What was it? What was green last time? I can't remember what it was, but oh, it was my Joy-Con, right? Yeah, it like looks black. That's right. Okay, and then, but yeah, we got a copy of Pokemon Emerald there, also apparently black, or whatever, but it's not. It looks like a regular Emerald cartridge in person, so, yeah, pretty cool. I got this back when I started playing Pokemon for the journey to get every Pokemon for my living decks. Which I still obviously have, and it's on my Pokemon Home and everything. Obviously, you can't really see well up there, but it's just a little cartridge. I don't have like the box or anything. You know, you got the guide here and everything, and so then we got a Gus here. So yeah, Pokemon Emerald is what we're reviewing today. Come here, bud. You can sit with me. Oh, I got this cool new Charmander shirt. Maybe I'll show off the back some other time, but like I don't want to get up right now. So yeah, Pokemon Emerald, the third generation of Pokemon. Now see, I was, you know, Gen 1, 2 kind of kid back in the day. I never got to play Pokemon Emerald. Oh, fuck. But I do have like a map or whatever that has like, the Pokemon on the back from Pokemon Emerald. I remember getting this, like, I think my friend gave it to me or something. And, you know, everyone else was, like, I guess super hyped about the game, but, like, by that point, I really wasn't that into Pokemon anymore. Gen 1 and 2 were kind of the golden age of Pokemon to me, you know? That was my real nostalgic period. That's most people's interpretation. And then everything kind of went to shit in Gen 3. Well, years and years later, in like, high school, when I had emulation and whatnot, I tried to play through Gen 3. I did do a fair amount of it. Like, I don't really remember too much about that, but I got far enough to get, like, the surf ability and, like, get to the abandoned ship or whatever. So that's, like, maybe, you know, I don't know how far into the game that is, but, it's a ways into the game. So, I remember that. I don't think I ever beat it. Actually, that's incorrect. I do believe that I did beat it back then. Man, this is all just kind of coming back to me now. I think I did beat it back then, but I just don't really remember much about that playthrough. I can tell you that I likely chose Torchic as my starter back then, because back then I chose Fire Starter for every starter, and that trend only got broken in Gen 8 when I chose Grookey rather than Scorbunny. Obviously, Charmander being my favorite Pokemon of all fucking time, I chose the Fire Starter pretty much every time after that. Even in Sinnoh, where, like, you know, whatever. I didn't really care much for Sinnoh, and I still don't really. Maybe Legends Arceus will change my mind on that, but even if it does, it won't be Sinnoh, it'll be Hisui that I actually care about. So, you know, and of course they've remade Sinnoh with the Diamond and Pearl remix. I just hate the look of that and everything. Anyway, my point is, I think that's really where the Pokemon franchise kind of fell off the rails, but most people are like, oh, that's my first one. This is the best game ever, or whatever. So, I was severely wrong about Gen 3 killing the franchise as a child. I mean, I was a fucking kid. What do you expect? I was probably like, I don't know, like what, 11 or something when fucking Gen 3 came out. Year to Gen 3? 2002? Would have been like 10 or 11 or something. So I just didn't really care. Lo and behold, come to find out later, when I did my, you know, of course you can start at Gen 3. That's where, to transfer up Pokemon, that's the initial starting spot, unless you have, like, some kind of devices or whatever to, like, help you along. But this very copy of Pokemon Emerald I bought to start that journey in 2016, or 2015, or whenever that was, 2015 or 2016, before Sun and Moon came out. I believe it was 2015, because then, like, they announced Sun and Moon, and I'm like, oh, well, there you go. Like, that's cool, you know, or whatever. Or it was, like, early 2016 before they had announced Sun and Moon. So, yeah, like, I bought this Pokemon Emerald cartridge and a bunch of other games after that just to do this kind of living dex thing. I was very enthralled with that idea of having one of every Pokemon. I'm like, if I'm going to get back into it, I've got to catch them all, you know? Because what's the saying of the games? You know, or it's really the show that really did this. I think the game said it a little bit too, but it was really the show. It's like, gotta catch 'em, it's you and me, you know. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. You know, like, I swear I know the theme song. I know it by heart. I can sing the whole thing right now, but I'm just stumbling into random parts of it there, so. Yeah. Also, this music, can we just get into the music? Like, goddamn, this is a fucking Pokemon soundtrack through and through. You know, like Sinnoh and Unova and shit, they've all got, like, some decent themes. Like, Kalos has some pretty decent themes I like. I kinda like Gen 6, too. I'm maybe a Gen 6, like, apologist or whatever, in terms of X and Y. I think those are, like, maybe the 4th best series of Pokemon games, honestly. I still gotta redo Unova or whatever. I know everyone, like, really loves that region. I think it'll be okay. But, you know, like, all of those regions have some jams, but, like, the first 3 generations of Pokemon, especially this one, like, has some, like, epic jams. Like, alright, now the first game, obviously, was, like, super nostalgic tracks, and I love all of those. And you know, I listened to Pallet Town and the redone version, and, you know, get a small tear because it's just like, oh man, it's so good. Like, especially the Let's Go soundtrack, like, oh my god, it's fucking excellent. But, like, totally non-biased, except for, like, I guess it is sort of nostalgic now, because it was, like, you know, 5 years ago or whatever. 6 years ago, technically. But I love the Pokemon Emerald soundtrack. All of these tracks are so good. The GBA has such a solid fucking musical, like, range. You know, like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, Golden Sun has, like, one of the most epic fucking soundtracks on the whole console. I'm sure I'm forgetting a whole bunch of other fucking really good ones. But, like, those are some really, really solid soundtracks. This one, like, kind of stands in that league with those. Like, it's so good. I know I'm getting so sidetracked, but like, I had to say it because this music we're listening to right now, it's just amazing. So yeah, but anyway, so I started here in 2016 to start going forward on my journey, and I did something revolutionary, and this was actually, wow, mind blown. This is actually before Sword and Shield. I picked the grass starter. I picked Sceptile, you know, Trico to go to Sceptile, but Sceptile became one of my fucking favorite Pokemon. In that list of favorite Pokemon, I think he's, like, really near the top. Like, I love fucking Sceptile. I still have that goddamn Sceptile. And I was telling my friend Naya, like, False Swipe is such a good move because it'll help you a lot when you're trying to catch all of the, like, Pokemon that you need to catch for, like, a living dex as you, like, go forward. False Swipe brings an enemy's HP down to 1. So, like, if you're, like, level 90... it's like, you know, obviously it doesn't have to do all of the damage to get to 1, otherwise that'd be pretty broken. But if you're, like, at a severely higher level and you're just trying to find this, like, really rare Pokemon and you false swipe it, done. You know, it's 1 HP, you hypnotize it, you throw the ball, you're good to go. Like, that's great. So, yeah, Sceptile. Leaf Blade is one of the coolest fucking attacks, like, ever. It's such a cool signature move. Like, it's amazing. I love Leaf Blade. Fucking Sceptile's awesome. I'm glad Ash got a Sceptile in the anime. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I chose the Grass Starter. It was different. It was cool. And it's probably a good choice because, you know, a lot of the Pokemon in this region, there's a lot of water, you know, 7 out of 10 or whatever, 7.5 out of 10, too much water. It's like, yeah, but, like, it's a really cool region. Like, I love Hoenn now. I do. It's like, God, I hate to say it, but, like, I'm gonna be this guy. Objectively, it might be the best region overall, and maybe they're actually the best games overall, which is like really hard for me to say because I love Generation 1 and 2, and I know everyone shits on Generation 2 now for some reason because it's cool to hate on Gen 2, but like that's my favorite generation. But like Hoenn like makes me rethink things a little bit, and there's so many cool Pokemon in Hoenn. It's just like everything about the region is cool. Even the villains are way better than Team Rocket or whatever. They have like motives. You know, the one wants to, like, put water over the whole, you know, Team Aqua, they want to make water over the whole region so that the Pokemon can thrive. And then Team Magma wants to do the exact opposite. They want to take and make more land for the Pokemon to thrive. So it's like this, like, ecological, like, sort of battle between the ages, and then like they have these two Pokemon, the ground Pokemon Groudon and Kyogre, which is like the water Pokemon, and then you have like Rayquaza or whatever, and they're like this epic fucking trio of legendaries. Like I like the legendary birds, and I like the dogs or whatever, and they had like kind of a cool backstory. The birds really didn't like do anything other than like Pokemon 2000 or whatever. But I fucking loved, like, the backstory, the lore. There was real lore behind not only this set of legendaries, but, like, the Reggies as well. And, like, they were, like, a whole mysterious thing. You had to do this whole, like, fucking side quest and have, like, 2 specific Pokemon in your party, a Relicanth and, like, a Whale Lord. And this is, like, the crazy... You had to read Braille and shit and, like, run in circles in this fucking area and, like, dig at the right spot and use Flash and shit. It's, like... What the fuck is this shit? But they're like the coolest hidden legendaries like ever. It's so cool. Like, so the legendaries are just fucking legendary. They're like, boom, they're like instantly epic, you know? And the battle between like Groudon, Kyogre, and like Rayquaza just comes in and smacks down. Is like, stop fighting, you know, basically, and just like the like struggle to catch those motherfuckers later on in the game. This is when you just use your Master Ball. Basically, you just go like, boom, baby, Master Ball done. But there's 3 of them, and there's 3 Reggies, so how are you going to use your Master Ball on all of them? Spoiler, you're not going to fucking do that. Unless you, like, glitch the game or something. There's no Missingo here. Missingo. That's how we used to say it, Missingo. Missing no. There's no missing no here to duplicate your Master Balls. But yeah, like, so, it's just such a big step up. It's like, you know, we're going to take our legendaries and make them more epic, and we're going to give them lore, and we're going to give these, like, 2 clashing teams, like, a fucking reason to fight. This is why I like Emerald the best, is because you actually get to see the perspective of both teams, sort of. You're not on really one side like you kind of are in the other 2 games. You're like, more skewed towards one side, and you're just kind of, like, there for the ride. You're just kind of watching and fighting both sides, and I think that's really cool. And that's something I really love, you know, is just, like, them clashing and their ideology. You're not really involved in that other than trying to stop them, sort of, but, like, even when you stop them, you don't really stop them because they do bring out these fucking ancient legendary Pokemon to, like, and they actually, like, near the end of the game, I guess spoilers for Pokemon Emerald, like, just go fucking play the game, alright? God damn it. Before you watch this video, play the game. They actually make, like, the whole world, like, rainy and, like, all fucked up with the weather and all that shit, and it's just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, holy crap, like, you know, the whole world actually changes. It's like, oh my god, like, what the effort to put into that, you know, that's pretty awesome. Hey, that's pretty good. But, you know, it's like, it's so cool, dude. It's like, fuck yeah, like, wow, and oh my god, like the aesthetic of the game is just brilliant. Like I fucking love it. I shouldn't have said brilliant because it made me think of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Fuck those games. This is way leagues better than those games. This might be the greatest Pokemon aesthetic of all time. Like, you know, I'm a little biased towards the original games. This is how you know that I'm being truthfully honest here, and I'm not like just fucking nostalgia blinded or whatever. I hated these games as a kid. I thought they ruined Pokemon, you know? I fucking hated the concept of these games as a kid. But the aesthetic of this game might be better than the classic 8-bit aesthetic. And I love the classic 8-bit aesthetic. I'm JZNES for fuck's sake. Those NES games over there say to you, and these Game Boy games say to you, this guy's an 8-bit guy. But this like 16-bit fucking 32-bit ass style is like the greatest Pokemon has ever looked fucking ever. It's amazing. And I love it. And, you know, even like Fire Red and Leaf Green, I know people kind of hate on those games. Like, I understand why and whatnot, but, like, the aesthetic at least looks really cool, you know? Like, okay, now the Let's Go aesthetic looks pretty great, too. That's, like, maybe number 2, and then, like, the 8-bit style. Or, like, the 8-bit style, then Let's Go. Those are all within the top 5. That'd be a good, video. Top 5 Pokemon aesthetic styles or whatever. I think Legends Arceus looks pretty good too, so maybe that would make the list. I don't know, I'll have to play the game first, but from what I've seen... I said Arceus, didn't I? God damn it! See, they've trained me to say Arceus! It's Arceus, god damn it! I've always said Arceus! Fuck that shit, Arceus. Anyway, the aesthetic of the game is really cool. I love Game Boy Advance. I love the Game Boy Advance aesthetic. There goes my fucking Pikachu. Oh, by the way... I don't know if you can see it. That's my fucking back of the shirt there. Isn't that epic? Here. Yeah, there you go. You can kind of see it. Oh my god. Alright. Now I'm just fucking getting really excited here, because this game is super good. And then, like, on top of all of that shit, that's just, like, the presentation and, like, the setup and the lore behind the game. You have, like, okay, so, like, your rivals are admittedly kind of weak, I guess. Like, they have decent teams and whatever. They just don't really have that much personality. They don't really show up that often. They're not like Gary, where they're, like, always gating your progress or whatever. I think we should have seen Wally and run in more. I played as the girl, of course, so I was the May character. Of course, because also May is like one of my fucking favorite characters in the fucking anime. I actually like May better than Misty, because May actually had like goals and a personality. Sorry, Misty, but like a personality. Like Misty was just like, oh, I'm a Tsundere to Ash or whatever. I'm just gonna fucking like be all mad at him all the time, and Ash, you're an idiot and this shit. But it's like May wasn't like just about like Ash. She had her own like goals. Like Misty's only goal was to become a water Pokemon master. Like that's so like unhinged. Like that's such a broad goal. Ash, at least becoming the master, he wanted to collect all the badges, right? So okay, that's cool. You collect the badges, you do the league every time. That's like a goal to do. Misty like just was along for the ride, basically. I think the show knows that too, because they kind of make fun of that. Like later on, they're like, "Oh, well, why did you start? Oh, my bike or whatever." It's like, oh, okay, but she totally forgot about that. She doesn't give a shit. So yeah, like May is one of the best characters in that, and I watched the anime too to kind of coincide with this. I'm trying to like finish that up, so very Pokemon centric lately. But anyway, so. Yeah, I love May, so I chose that character. So your rivals are like okay, you know, and their teams are pretty cool, but they're just like okay rivals, you know, and that's every rival past like fucking Gen like 2 or whatever. They're just like mostly okay or whatnot. So, but yeah, so, but like other than that, like, okay, and then like the one other maybe negative thing I can say about the game is the bike sections where you have to like ride across the like breaking panels or whatever, or like you just fall into a hole. I hate those. I hate those. That's the one glaring flaw about the game, which is like a minor fucking nitpick. It's like so minuscule to the game. You don't even have to do that. The only reason you have to do that is to get the fossils, and then you have to do it once as a straight shot, I think, in Rayquaza's like tower area or whatever, and that's it. But I hate that. That's the one thing about this game I say I adamantly dislike. But it's like so small. It's not even 1%. It's like 0.000, point 0.000, like 1%. Like after like 20 zeros or whatever of the game. So yeah. But pretty much everything else about the game I really like adore. I love. The starters are some of the greatest fucking starters out there. And I love the original trio of starters. Obviously Charmander's my favorite. Like Bulbasaur and Squirtle are pretty alright. Their evolutions are obviously like amazing. Like Venusaur and Blastoise are like some of the coolest Pokemon. Like that trio is great. The like Gen 2 starters are just like okay. Like I know he's hating on Gen 2. It's his favorite generation. But it's like goddamn, like like Cyndaquil's pretty good. Feraligator's alright. Like the Totodile Feraligator. Like I like Bayleaf and Chikorita Meganium. I like that line. They're just not very good. Like I like Bayleaf especially. There's like one of each evolution. I think I like maybe the whole Cyndaquil line, but that's about it. So like this trio though is like fucking excellent. Each and every one that you would choose is fantastic. Torchic, which evolves into Combusken, which evolves into Blaziken. Blaziken is like one of the most loved Pokemon, and it was the original firefighting Pokemon, which is so stupid. It's like a bird. It's like, make it like fire flying or something, but then you have Charizard. He was already that. You can't take away the fire type. If it was any other Pokemon, I would have made it fire, or flying fighting, like Halucha or whatever. But, whatever. They kind of painted themselves into a corner with that one. So, firefighting, which, like, that's that whole thing. But, like, Sky Uppercut is awesome. Like, Flamethrower and, like Fire Blast and Overheat even is, like, a pretty good move. That one kind of sucks, though, because it, like, lowers... It's like a big glass cannon sort of thing where it, like, lowers your special attack, and then you just kind of have to, like, deal with that for the rest of the time. So you gotta use it like sparingly or whatnot. Like where you gotta use it in a situation you're gonna win, kind of thing. And then there's of course Trico, which evolves into Grovyle and Sceptile. Sceptile is one of the coolest fucking Pokemon ever. Trico is adorable. I have a shiny Trico in Pokemon Go, and I actually have a shiny Sceptile that I got on my Omega Ruby or Alpha Sapphire. Which one did I have? I don't remember. One of those, the Gen 6 remakes of Gen 3, I actually, when I booted it up, it had a shiny Sceptile on there, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. So I love that. I have that one still. I have all of them still, obviously. And then, of course, there's Mudkip, which, like, I didn't used to like Mudkip that much. Like, do you like Mudkip? Oh, it's like, I do like Mudkip now, because in Pokemon Go, like, Pokemon Go makes me, like, love a lot of Pokemon, and I think that's actually how I've genuinely come to love, like, almost every Pokemon, except for, like, Bruxish, but it's not in the game yet, so maybe when I catch it in Pokemon Go, it'll actually be cool. And, like, Jinx, it made me love to hate fucking Jinx. Woo, woo, woo! The best part is, I was playing Sword and Shield, the DLC, the Crown Tundra, first thing that happens to me, I walk in to this area, the people stop talking, I walk into the grass, there's a fucking Jinx! It's the first Pokemon I see is goddamn Jinx. It's a Pokemon I love to hate, but anyway. So, Mudkip, in Pokemon Go, I got a 96% shiny Mudkip, that I evolved into a Swampert, and I use it in Ultra League all the time. It's like fucking amazing, I love it. It's fantastic. But it really made me appreciate Mudkip funnily enough, the Ed Sheeran event made me appreciate Mudkip. So Ed Sheeran, you're the reason I love Mudkip. And I know you're not watching this, but I'm just like, whatever. I don't really like Ed Sheeran. I think he's kind of a tool, but why was it his event? You know, like it's just so stupid. But anyway, Mudkip. I think Mudkip's adorable. I actually had to have a Mudkip on my team till level 42 so it could learn Hydro Pump. Because in this game, that's a thing. And Blaziken can't learn Flamethrower or one of the moves. I think it's Flamethrower until like Torchic can't learn it until later. So me and Maya both had to put an Everstone on our guy until 42, which is like most of the way through the game, which is just hilarious. And then so I loved that. That was hilarious. But I mean, that's like kind of a negative, but it is pretty cool that they would like put that in the game. That's like maybe one of the other things that I'm like, can I just learn it by like leveling up? There are some moves like that where they're kind of legacy moves or like egg moves or something like that. It's just like, okay, that's not really my thing, but like whatever. I'm not gonna hold it against the game. It's fine, you know, kind of thing. So, but yeah. So, Mudkip's Marshtomp, and then Swampert. And the only reason I've like Marshtomp, like, you know, I only had him for one level because literally I had to Everstone till 42, and then whenever he evolved, he went to the next level, he evolved into Marshtomp, and then whenever he went to the next level, he evolved into Swampert. So it's like, I think they're all pretty cool. Swampert, I really don't think his design is as good as the other two starters' final design, but I've come to love him in his own way. He's not like Samurott levels to me of like, this is disappointing, but like I'm not really disappointed by it, but I'm just like, it's just interesting to me. It's like the other two have better kind of final forms, you know, but Swampert's pretty cool. I don't mind Swampert, you know, at all. So yeah, so the starters are great. So no matter what you choose, you're going to have a pretty good time. And it's not like last time where like Chikorita is like way underpowered. Sceptile is like a really good Pokemon. And especially this generation where there's a bunch of water Pokemon, that's a really good choice. Swampert is a really great choice as well because you're going to need, for all the water HMs or whatever, right? Not that you should teach your Swampert all the water HMs, but there's so many good water moves in this generation. And so there's that, and it's also part ground type, so it's like it's got a good like mix of the two. And then you have Blaziken, who is like one of the best fire type attackers in the game. Yeah, aside from like Camerupt or whatever, which is another Pokemon I really love. I didn't get to use it this time because I had used it before prior, but we'll get into that in a second. So yeah, so they're all three really good Pokemon, and especially for the region. Now, maybe Blaziken's like a little underpowered in terms of like there's tons of water Pokemon that are going to get you up. But it's like the game is balanced enough to like you're going to have a lot of gyms where Blaziken is super helpful with its fighting moves and its flying moves and like the fire moves and stuff. So yeah, so like any way you go about this thing, it's good. And that's cool. Like, it's finally balanced for once, you know? It's not like Gen 1 where, like Squirtle and Bulbasaur had, like, a giant advantage over Charizard for, like, half the gyms or whatever. And then Charizard got, like, Erica and, like, what else? I don't know. Like, what was another one? Probably a few other ones. But it's like, you know, like, the two other starters were, like, better in terms of like taking down the gyms. And like Charizard's obviously great and everything, but you know, whatever. I'm just saying, like finally, there's a balanced trio. They all look great. They're all really cool choices. The first three stages are adorable, so you know, you have that about them. Like, oh man, they even have some pretty decent middle evolutions, which always suck for the most part. You know, like okay, Wartortle, Charmeleon, those are pretty good. You know, like even Ivysaur is all right. These middle evolutions are also pretty good. So the starters are really good. Like, and that's the best way to start the game. You're hearing the good music. You're seeing the good aesthetic. The starters are really cool. And, you know, like, everything's cool. And then you also get the running shoes, a big upgrade. You know, you can run now, finally. Of course, we were playing it on emulation, so I just ran that thing, like, fucking, you know, sped it up most of the time. Which kind of sucks, because I did miss the music sometimes. But I always slowed it down just enough to listen to the music, especially when there was, like, the important battles, like the Elite Four or whatever. So let's get to talking about, like, the actual game. Like, it's been so long, I'm just talking about all the auxiliary stuff, like, you know, the music and all that. But, the actual journey is actually even pretty good. Like, you know, you start off, what's cool is, like, one of the first routes, you can catch a Ralts. And I did that, because I love Gardevoir. I have 100% Gardevoir that I caught as 100% Ralts in, Pokemon Go, and I caught it at a local park here. So yeah, I have that, and I love that, and so I said to myself, I had a list of Pokemon. I don't have the list anymore because I kind of deleted them as I went, but one of them that I wanted to definitely get was a Ralts, so I could evolve it into Gardevoir, and I definitely did that, and that Gardevoir was like one of the best Pokemon on my team, like the whole time. Except for, like, maybe that part where there was, like, the Mightyena. Anytime a dark... I would always keep it near the front, but anytime a dark, like, Mightyena or Poochyena or whatever would come out, or, like, Shiftry, and I only had Psychic Confusion and, like, Hypnosis, and then, like, Calm Mind or whatever. I eventually switched one out for Hyper Beam, like, at the end of the game or whatever, but, like, I literally couldn't do anything about it. Oh, I switched one out for Thunderbolt as well. Near the end. Maybe that was it. No, I didn't switch it for Hyper Beam. It was Thunderbolt. I gave somebody else Hyper Beam. Thunderbolt, so that I could have at least something to attack the dark types with, and that ended up working out pretty dope. So that Ralts was great. That turned into that Gardevoir, and it was it was the very first one I fully evolved out of all of my Pokemon near like the fifth or fourth or fifth gym or something like that. So you go forward from there, and you have like it's mostly just about the gym challenges. Like, so one of the first towns you run into, though, you find a gym, and you're like, okay, so you go in there, and your dad is the gym leader, but he's gone or whatever, and so you're like, all right, so I'll probably have to come back here like after. Or no, he's there. That's what it is. He's like, oh, come back when you get, like, how many badges? You know, like 4 or 5 or something. I think 4 badges. And then, so you're like, all right, so you just keep going on. And then, one of the first, like, major areas you get to is a forest, and you get, like, a ton of shit there, like Slack Off and a bunch of cool Pokemon like that. Like, they have abilities in this game now. So Slack Off has this thing where every other turn, he'll just, like, go dead. It's called, like... I don't know. But he, like, can't do anything because he's, like, lounging around or whatever every other turn. Or loafing around, I think is what it says. Him and Slacking have this as, like, their ability, but the middle evolution, Vigoroth, doesn't have it. So it's like some people prefer Vigoroth to run because you don't have to deal with that. It's speedier and stuff. But some people prefer, like, the sheer bulk. It's like... The bulk of Slacking is like legendary level. It's better than some of the legendaries in the game, and in like some other games. But the every other turn thing really sucks. You have to decide, is that worth it to you? I may have used one though, so apparently it was pretty good. I would like to like use one when I come back to this game someday, because I'm definitely coming back to this game because it's like one of, if not my favorite Pokemon game. I love that's the hard thing to say though, because it's like gold and like red and blue and stuff are like great. But even I know that like the original games have their flaws and there's a lot of bad things about them, and there's some bad things about this game. You know, you need like a million HMs in this game. There's like 7 of them or something, and you like literally need all of them except for like cut like near the end of the game. I don't think you really need cut like that much. Also, by the way, did you know? Fun fact, did you know? You can cut grass in the game and it'll make that grass like disappear. Generation 3 and prior. So you can do this in Gen 1 as well. It's pretty cool. It's like one of those things I figured out like years after I played Gen 1. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it's pretty cool. I'm sure you probably knew that. But in case you didn't, there you go. So, yeah, so like that forest is really cool. And like even to that point, there's kind of like branching paths on each route, and I really do appreciate that. Like some of the earlier games kind of had that, but this is like that. It's like linearity, but they kind of give you your own way to go about it. And it's interesting because if you run into some trainers, and I think the first ones are actually past that forest, but if you run into some trainers, and you can either encounter them as a double battle or a single battle, depending on if they both see you or if one sees you. So it's a really cool mechanic, and there's different battles based on all of that, and I think that's really neat. And of course, they introduced double battling in this game, which is like really fucking cool. It's like one of the best mechanics. I love double battling. Like, it's great. There's even a gym. The 7th gym is like a double battle gym, and it's so good. And it's a really hard gym, and I want to get into that in a second. There are some really fucking hard and really fucking good gyms in this game, and I like that a lot. I mean, I guess I could just get into that now. Well, shit. I should probably look into, yeah, it's gonna be hard to... Here, I'm just gonna... maybe I'll just look it up. Because I know that, like, each of them... Each gym kind of has some kind of challenge to it, and I really appreciate that, overall. Here, let me just, yeah. Alright, so, here we go. I got the list. The first gym, you got Roxanne. She's got a Geodude, and a Nose Pass. Now, the Geodudes aren't that bad if you have, like Mudkip or something like I did. You know, and there's other good Pokemon, like you can catch a Lotad along the way before there and whatnot, which is actually one of the Pokemon I caught, and I had to get Ludicolo. But I had a Lombre for a long time because of the Water Stone you can't get until you get Dive. And you gotta get that on the abandoned ship. So yeah, I like a lot of Pokemon that were like not fully evolved because of that reason. But Lombre is one of them I used until the very end of the game. So yeah, so that's pretty good. Anyway, Roxanne's like Nose Pass though, I remember it like it knows some weird moves that were like kind of tricky for me. So that's like the first one. And then the Makokita and the Machop, maybe even the Metatite on Brawly, the second gym leader, like the fighting types were pretty tricky. Like not like super tricky, but they're like, you know, like tricky enough. I don't think I had that hard of a time with Watson, but like I think I do remember it being like somewhat challenging. I know I had to like fight him like maybe once or twice. And then Flannery, I remember one of, I think Camerupt has like Earthquake or something, which was like super devastating. Earthquake is like the worst move to run into in this game. It was either Earthquake or like it's some other really powerful move, and then like it's really hard to take care of. Or maybe it was the Torkoal. I don't know. I don't think it was the Torkoal though. Then the Norman gym back in Petalburg City, he's got Vigoroth, Slackoff, Spinda, and Linoon, which, like, the Linoon and the Spinda, whatever, but, like, the Vigoroth and the Slackoff especially, or, I mean, Slacking especially, are just, like, bricks, and it's just so hard to get through if you don't have, like, a fighting move. I definitely struggled there a little bit because I didn't really have that much fighting stuff. Mayab was using a Breloom, which had a fighting move, so that was pretty cool. And that was cool that was, like, one of the Pokemon that he used, because, like, it's one that I've never really used, but, like, I think it's a pretty cool Pokemon. So, yeah. Then Winona, she's got Swablu, Tropius, Skarmory, Pelipper, and then, of course, this fucking, like, beast-ass Altaria that has Earthquake, and that was really fucking devastating. And it's got Dragon Dance or whatever, so it could just keep buffing itself up and then using Earthquake and just fucking wreck it. One-shotted my whole team like a bunch of fucking times. It was ridiculous. I don't remember even how I like ended up like finally beating it, but like for sure it was ridiculous. I think I just had to like brute force it, and I just like barely won, if I remember correctly. That's like most gyms. They're all pretty difficult. Like I was saying, 7th gym, Liza and Tate, they're like a duo battle team. They're twins or whatever. They got a Lunatone and a Solrock, but you're not going to see those until you see the Xatu and the Claydol, because they always lead with Xatu and Claydol. The Claydol has fucking Earthquake again, and it's like immune to a lot of shit because it's like Ghost Ground or whatever. And then like the Xatu has like Psychic moves and like Flying moves, and it has some other really powerful attack, if I remember correctly. So like as a team, and it has like Hypnosis, I think, too. So like as a team, they're like the most ridiculous fucking team to like go up against. So like you gotta, if you take out the one, the other one's gonna wreck you, or and they'll just switch it for like the Solrock and Lunatone. It's just a whole thing. That was a really challenging battle. I really appreciated that. It was great. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because like Pokemon has gotten so easy now. That's like the obvious thing, right? It's so easy now. This was when Pokemon was fucking difficult. Like even past this, it was easier. This was it. This was the peak of Pokemon because it was fucking difficult still, but like yeah, attainable. You could still do it, but it just took effort, and it took you really strategizing and thinking like, okay, do I need to train up a new Pokemon, or can I use this team and just like give it a new move and like figure out and brute force it, or should I start with this or start with this? And it's like, it's so cool. It's such a good balanced like fighting system and all that. And then the Sutopolous leader, the 8th one, is a great one too. Like his whole gym is like easy as fuck, but he's got Love Disc, which is whatever. Kingdra, which is like one of the fucking toughest Pokemon because it's water and dragon, and like it's just really really tough. And then like his Celio, Crawdon, Wishcash, like all of those present their own problems basically. Like I know I'm not getting like super deep into it, but like they're all like kind of really challenging in their own way. And what I love is on the Elite Four, they have the final guy before the champion has a Kingdra, an Altaria, and like I think he's got like one of the other like really tough Pokemon or whatever from the previous battles. And I'm like, oh my god, this feels like fighting. It's like a best of like all of the previous hardest fights in the game. And I'm like, wow, this is so cool. You know, like what payoff to like get to. And yeah, so and I love the Elite Four too. There's like so the first guy is like a dark type trainer, which like of course presented a problem with my Gardevoir or whatever. So I had let me think. So I had a Gardevoir, Ludicolo, obviously I had my Swampert. I used Altaria, and I'm trying to think who the other ones are. But anyway, how can I not think of this? I should just I should open that up actually. But anyway, let's just talk about the team first. So the dark type guy, he had like Mightyena, Absol, Shiftry, Cacturne, and Crawdon. Like Cacturne's not that bad, but like Shiftry, Crawdon, Absol, and like Mightyena especially are like pretty tricky. Like I didn't have a lot of like good coverage for most of this. Like the Shiftry and the Cacturne, like I said, like fire was pretty easy. I did have a Pokemon that had fire, something fire related, but yeah. So, but like the rest of them are just pretty tough. And then it's like there's a Ghost leader. She's got 2 Dusclops, a Bayonet, a Sableye, and another Bayonet. So that's cool. And then there's the third one. She's got 2 Celios, a Walrein, and 2 Glalie. So not only is that like water and ice, so like, you know, I probably use my Gardevoir a lot there to just like Thunderbolt. But it's like oh, Glalie was one I had as well. That was definitely one. I used that for ice moves like Icy Wind and stuff. I caught that one like pretty late into the game. So that's cool. Yeah, I had that Glalie. There's like a cave, like it's very off the beaten path, but it's like above Moss Deep City. There, you surf up and it's there, and that's how you can catch Snow like Glalie. It's like an ice cave scenario. You get the Never Melt like at the bottom of it, so that's pretty cool. There's a lot of like optional little extra things like that. Pokemon these days wouldn't have a fucking optional dungeon to save their fucking life or whatever. That's the kind of shit I want back in the next Pokemon game. Just little, like, Gen 9, like, little off-the-beaten path, like, caves and stuff that you can just go and explore and get lost in and whatnot. I don't want it to be like... I want you to be able to go in there and actually explore and stuff and just, like, do puzzles and whatnot, like the old games. I think that'd be really cool. They need to do that. So, yeah. So I had a Glalie. That was another one. And then, the final one, Drake, he's got a Shelgon, a Flygon, which Flygon is one of my favorite fucking Pokemon. The only reason I didn't use it was because I wanted to use, like, mostly new Pokemon or whatnot. So, yeah. And then he's got an Altaria, a Salamence, and the Kingdra. Now, the Kingdra and the Altaria, that's what I was talking about. That's, like, this guy had, like, the trial run of some of the hardest Pokemon. You know, like, the Salamence would be really hard if I didn't have, like, Icy Wind or, like, Ice Beam or whatever. And I had that on, like, 2 different Pokemon, so, you know, not too bad in terms of things. But, yeah. So I just used that to kind of take him down. But still, really challenging, like, final Elite Four member. And then, of course, you got the champion, Wallace, who's got a Wailord, a Milotic, a Tentacruel, Ludicolo, Gyarados, and Whiscash. Now, electric moves can take down like 4 of those. The Whiscash and the Ludicolo are the other hardest ones. Like, you just kind of figure those out. But like all of those Elite Four members are really good, and I think that's great. And then like just the journey throughout the region too is really cool, and it's just really well paced. And there's always like little optional areas to go to and little side areas like the desert and stuff. And I really like that. And I like that the path is so diverse and unique in its like presentation. There's like a mountain. There's like a volcano. There's like a soup dust field of like ashes falling down from the volcano, which is like near the volcano. So it's like, wow, like look at this. The areas like tie into each other even. There's like obviously like forest areas. There's like a bunch of water, obviously. The sea in this game is really cool too, because it's almost like Metroidvania-esque as well. You open up the sea and you can go all sorts of places, and you can fight like a bazillion trainers and catch like a ton of Pokemon and like fish for like all sorts of new Pokemon, get a bunch of items and stuff, and that's really, really cool. There's a lot to explore on the sea, and I think that's great. You know, it's amazing. It's like this just really well-developed world. You know, it's not like really like a snowy area or anything, but like whatever. Like I think that's like maybe the one thing. Yeah, I guess I didn't really talk about Feebas, but like I can't talk about every Pokemon. But Feebas is like a really unique element to this game as well. There's like there's like a certain route where there's a long stretch of water, and you can only catch Feebas on this route in this water, and it's only on like 5 specific tiles in this like hundreds of tiles water. That you can like catch this Feebas, and you just have to individually fish on each one, and then find where there's a Feebas spot, and then just remember that that's the Feebas spot, and then fish there until you get a Feebas, which is like ridiculous. And then evolving it into Milotic involves these fucking contests and like these berries that you can get through that. You have to like raise its beauty stat to max or whatever. Which is just a whole headache in its own right. And, yeah, so I remember that being a big pain when I did that originally. Oh, and another fun thing is I didn't have 2 Game Boy Advance anythings at the time, except I did have a Game Boy Advance SP that the screen was broken. Actually, wow, I totally forgot. That's the JZ The orange one. That's what that SP is made out of. Is my old SP. I forgot about that. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. Thanks, Fab, for that. But anyway, it all comes together because I used that without a screen to trade Pokemon over between two Generation 3 versions just to be able to get the starters that you can get from having a complete Pokedex on every file. And I had to trade using the broken screen. So I just had to do it by sound. I would just go down one, trade. I couldn't even see it. That's pretty cool. So I did that when in 2015 or 16 or whatever when I did my thing. So that's just cool. It's a little anecdote there. I actually broke that screen by punching it by playing Pokemon Gold because I couldn't catch Ho-Oh like on a repeat run like years later. So funny, that's also Pokemon related. Anyway, so yeah, but I love the diversity of the region of Hoenn, and I love all of the Pokemon that you can catch. There's so many great fucking Pokemon in this game. I've named a bunch of them, but like I think we should go through the list and just kind of see what some of my like favorites are, because like so many of these Pokemon I didn't give a shit about until like I did these run-throughs and then I played Pokemon Go where they were all in there and stuff. So yeah. Let's see if we can get... Right, so yeah, I talked about the starters. Those are good. I like the Silcoon and Cascoon, how they evolve into Dustox and Beautifly, and that's like two different evolutions. You can't really control it. Maybe you can in the main games. I don't remember. I don't think you can, though. You just kind of have to see what it evolves into the second form. That'll be what the third form is. So that's interesting. The Shift Tree line's pretty cool. Like, Swallow's like okay. He's just like the regional bird, but he's only 2-stage this time, which is weird. Wingull and Pelipper are pretty cool. I like how they're like a water bird. I think that's cool, like a seagull sort of thing, obviously. But I think they're pretty cool. Obviously, the Gardevoir line, Ralts, Curly, Gardevoir. Love that. Surskit's alright, as well as its evolution. Shroomish and Breloom are pretty good. Slackoff line, like I talked about, is pretty cool. Nincada, Ninjask, and Shedinja is interesting, because Shedinja, you have to have an extra Pokeball, and then it'll just like appear in your party. It's like the shell of the Ninjask that came from the Nincada that like it shedded or whatever, and it's only weak to like whatever type. It's like fire and like a few other types, and you can only damage it by using one of those types. Otherwise, it's pretty much invincible. The Whismur line, like I'm not a big fan, but like Whismur is like a really good Pokemon in Pokemon Go to catch because it's really like a little bit evolution. Makuhita and Hariyama I definitely used for a little bit of the game, and I thought that was pretty cool. I think they're pretty cool Pokemon. I really do like them as like a fighting type. So they're pretty cool. Azurill is a new evolution of a baby Pokemon or pre-evolution that you can evolve into Marill and Azumarill. My friend Mayab used Azumarill for its rollout, which is like a really good move in this generation. And of course, the Defense Curl rollout thing is pretty cool. Nosepass is a cool new addition. I love Skitty. Love, love, love Skitty. It's adorable. I have a shiny in Pokemon Go. It's one of the first shinies I caught in that game. And Delcatty's a pretty decent evolution to that. The Aeron line, Aeron, Lairon, and Aggron are like some of the best steel types in my opinion. Like I love those guys. Meditite, Medicham are pretty cool. Electrike and Manectric are pretty cool. Plusle and Minun are like the regional Pikachu variant, so they're all right. They're not very powerful though, which is kind of the problem. Volbeat and Lumize are decent. They're like electric bugs or whatever. They're kind of cool. They're regionals in Pokemon Go, so that's interesting. The Roselia in that line, which Roselia was the only one now, but Roselia was a pretty cool Pokemon. Gulpin, Swalot. The Sharpedo line, of course, was pretty cool. The Carvana Sharpedo. And then Whalmer, Whale Lord, which is pretty awesome. I loved Camera Up. Numel's, you know, cool or whatever, but Numel Camera Up, it's great. Torkoal, actually used for a little bit in this game just to have a fire type. Spoink and Grumpig, they're okay, you know, like, whatever. Spinda's interesting because, you know, the pattern is different for, like, every single one, which is crazy. Fucking Trapinch, Vibrava, Flygon, like, is an amazing line. Trapinch is kind of like a shitty-looking Pokemon, but, like, when you get to the Flygon and Vibrava, they're, like, some of the coolest fucking Pokemon. I love those guys. And, of course, Swablu Altaria is a fucking great line as well. Lunatone, Solrox, Viper, Barbroach, Wishcash, and a Corphet. Like, all these are fine. Lilip and Cradily and Anorith and Armaldo are pretty cool fossil Pokemon. You got fossil Pokemon back again. You know, you didn't have that in Gen 2, so that's pretty cool. I really like that. Of course, I talked about Phoebus already. Feebas. Castform is, like, kind of interesting. Kecleon, which we still don't have in fucking Pokemon Go. The Shuppet, Bayonet line, that's cool. Dusclops. Tropius, I really like. That's like a... He looks like a tree, but he's like a brontosaurus tree or whatnot, which is cool. Chimecho, which is like super rare in this game. Absol, which is like quickly becoming one of my favorite Pokemon. I finally have a shiny Absol in Pokemon Go, and I love it. I waited like forever to get that thing. Absol is really cool. I love its Mega Evolution as well. One of my newer favorite Pokemon that Gen 3 really made me love. Let's see. Snorunt and Glalie, I really like. They're some of my favorite Pokemon of this generation. Relicanth is interesting as well. It's like an ancient Pokemon or whatnot. The Bagon line, Bagon, Shelgon, Salamence, love that line. Some of the coolest like Dragon Pokemon. Of course, there's like Dragonite and stuff, but like Salamence is really cool, and I think Bagon is like a really good first evolution. The Beldum line is pretty cool too. Like I like Beldum, and Metagross is neat. I think that Pokemon's probably a little bit overrated, but like it's still a really cool line. Kind of sucks that you can't get it till after the game. I talked about the Reggies; they're a cool trio. Latias and Latios. I really love Latias, and I love the shiny of Latias, that it's orange and green or whatever. I think that's like one of the coolest shinies, and I'm definitely going to shiny hunt that whenever it comes into Pokemon Go. Of course, the Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, and Jirachi is a really cool mythical Pokemon, and Deoxys is one of the coolest like mythical Pokemon as well. So yeah, just really, really great decks this time around, and even the Pokemon that they brought back were like really good choices for the most part, as far as I can like say. That they're all really great. So yeah, you have like a great Pokemon, you have great gyms, you have difficulty in the game, you have great music, you have great aesthetic, great lore, great villains. Like the one or two bad things are like little minor things, and they added like so much in this game. There's so much side content, like contests, and like when you beat the game, there's the roaming legendaries, and there's like stuff to do after the game. And in Emerald, there's a battle frontier. I've never done it, but it's really cool that it's there. That's so much post-game content. You know, I think that's awesome. You get to catch Groudon, and Kyogre, and Rayquaza in the post-game. We didn't really do a lot of that, me and Mab and I, or whatever. But yeah, I just love all of that. There's so many things to love about this game, and it's just definitely like one of the best Pokemon games. I like the explorative element to it too. It's not so linear. Later on in the game, it really opens up, especially when you can surf everywhere. There's so much to explore and so many trainers to find, and there's like little things off the beaten path, like the Reggie caves and stuff, you know, or even like Shoal Cave, like I was talking about earlier. It's just kind of up there, and you just kind of have to know it's there, and you have to explore to find it, kind of thing. The abandoned ship and all of that kind of stuff, and just like all sorts of places, dude. It's awesome. I love exploring. There's so many little off the road beaten paths too that you can like surf to, or like waterfall to, or something. I didn't even find all of the caves because apparently may have found more that you can like waterfall to. like to get Bagon, you need waterfall. You got to go up. You can get waterfalls like one of the last things, like near the end of the game. You have to go up this waterfall, and you have to like go into this one really specific room at like the back of Meteor Falls or whatever, and you find Bagon there, and it's like a really low encounter rate or whatever, and it's holding a dragon scale or something. Sometimes it's like a really low chance that it does hold that. It's already a really low chance to encounter it, really low chance that it holds the dragon scale. So I remember I had to like farm it for like forever to get this thing to evolve one of the Pokemon. I think for Kingdra or whatnot, to like get all of the Pokemon so I could get the Johto starters or whatnot. So like yeah, like holy shit, dude, like there's so many good things about this game, and it's all pretty much good, and it's like it's just so well done. I just really love Pokemon Emerald overall. And you know, its legacy would live on later on. Like they had the Mega Evolutions for the starters and this and that, and even the Johto ones like never got their time to Mega Evolve or whatever. But it's like, you know, like Sceptile and them got it. It just leaves such a legacy and impact on me nowadays, with some of my favorite Pokemon being in there, like Absol and Sceptile and Altaria and stuff like that, you know. I love those Pokemon. I like Aggron. That was it. That was the Pokemon. That was the last one I could think of was Aggron. Duh, I used an Aggron, and it was great. It was fantastic. I loved Aggron. Dude, it was amazing. I caught that Aeron like super early on. Yeah. So I really loved that. I loved playing it with Mab too, because he would have his own little team, and he had like all the different stuff that I did, and so we would talk about it and be like, oh, you should use this strategy. Oh, use this strategy. This is how I made it through. The nice thing is, despite how difficult it was, and I made it more difficult on myself by doing this, but I intentionally did not grind. I did not grind at all, like, for the most part, until, like, the very end of the game. I grinded a little bit. But I tried not to grind. I just did the enemies or the trainers that were around, and then that was pretty much it. I tried to beat the gyms and stuff based on that. And it actually worked pretty well. It's like, as long as you have good type matchups against these guys, and you use strategy, you could take them down pretty easily. I fucking, like, was not even, I was level 50 with one Pokemon, and I was fighting level 57 and 58 Pokemon at the very end there, and I took them down, like, no problem. Just because I had the type advantage move of Thunderbolt, you know, and like, I had to tank some hits, of course, but it was easy. I had to, like, revive some Pokemon sometimes. But my point is, as long as you kind of know what you're doing, you can, like, play in a league above yourself, like, half the time, and that's really cool. So, yeah. So that's cool. And I love that. I love how much variety there is in the gameplay and in the areas, and you can actually explore stuff. I think that's really cool. Obviously, like I said, the music and the aesthetic is great. I want to get to a track here. I don't know when they're going to play it, though, because how far even in are we? Oh, my God. We haven't even listened to, like, the gym theme or any of that. So many good tracks, though. That's the thing. Like, the music is so good. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. It's just, like, really true. I think both of the teams had really good hideouts. They were really cool. And having to use, like, all the HMs kind of sucks, but it's like, it is what it is, man. Like, sometimes that's what I made my Whale Lord, like, my HM slave for a lot of them. But, yeah. The Victory Road is kind of ridiculous in terms of having to use, like, HMs there. I think that's maybe, like, the one glaring flaw of that area, but I think it's still a really cool area, so, which is the theme that I'm actually fucking looking for, is Victory Road, because I want to play that, because it's really good. And so this is like one of the first themes I heard, but I heard this from Super Smash Brothers. It has like a really epic version of the theme, Super Smash Brothers Brawl, by the way, because you know, this was back when. But yeah, I loved Victory Road, the theme that is in the game. I remember grinding there for hours and hours and hours on the original playthrough, because you know, like to get through the Elite Four or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted that to be heard. There's so many grit tracks in the game. Anyway, like overall, it's like one of the, if not the best Pokemon game. Obviously, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 because it's amazing and I love it. And it's like one of, if not my favorite Pokemon game. And it kills me that I didn't like play it back in the day so I could have some nostalgia with it. But I'm kind of glad that I didn't as well. That way, I can know that what I'm feeling is a very genuine reaction and a very genuine positivity towards this game. Like, you know, it's not nostalgia blinded or whatever. It's just like, no, dude, I just fucking love this game a lot. Like, it's just really epic. And I don't use that word lightly. I hate it when people say epic all the time, and they don't really say it much anymore. But this game is fucking epic, and I love it. It's amazing. It's one of the best Pokemon games of all time. It's probably better than... It probably objectively is the best Pokemon game. But, like, I do like Generation 2 a lot, so it's really hard for me. But it is, like, maybe my second or third... Probably my... God. It's got to be my second favorite Pokemon game, which is hard to say, because I really do... But you know what? But I'm a bit Kanto'd out at this point, because they've really shoved it down my throat, man. But I do love Kanto. Kanto is a great region. It's like one of the most iconic regions for Pokemon. It is Pokemon, you know, but like, to me, like, but, yeah. So... Closing the chapter of Pokemon Emerald. Maybe I'll do some of the other ones at some point, but this is the one that we kind of just got to, you know, so I really love it. I love Pokemon Emerald so much. So, yeah, until next time, this has been JZNES saying keep it classic, stick around for more reviews, unrated games, and I'll see you guys in the next one. JZ